Hola, estudiantes. I had a couple of students asking about the schedule, mi horario, that is due on Monday. I think it is assignment 4 for week 3. So what I thought I would do, go a little old school, and hand write one out for you all so you can kind of see what I'm looking for. Sometimes just hearing me talk about it is going to be easier than just reading about it on a Google Doc. Okay, so let's begin. So in my first heading, you're going to have hora, which is the time the class starts. And the second one is la clase, the name of the class in Spanish. And the third one, you're going to have the teacher, a profesor, profesora, or you can call it maestro, maestra. They both mean teacher. Como es la clase, how's the class, an adjective to describe the class. And in the next column, como es el profesor, or como es el maestro, or la profesora, how is the teacher, so an adjective to describe the teacher. And then in la clase yo, in the class I, and this is where you tell me one thing that you do in the class and how often. So I'm just going to make this up off the top of my head. So my first class is going to be at, let's say, at 7:24. So I'm going to say at 7:24, which is going to be a las 7:24. If you want to write it in English, at 7:24, that's fine. Okay? Please write it out in words, not in digits. So at 7:24, let's say I have the class of math. So I'm going to say matemáticas. Okay? So my teacher is going to be, let me think of a math teacher. How about Miss Judy? So señora, I'm going to say la señora Judy. That la, anytime you're talking about a person using their señora, and you're talking about them, please put el or la in front of it. So for example, Miss Judy be la señora Judy. Mr. Pinkston would be el señor Pinkston. All right, next, como es la clase? How's the class? So think of an adjective to describe the class. So I would think her class would be difficult because math was difficult for me. So I'm going to say it's difícil. Okay? And como es el profesor? How's the teacher? So the teacher, Miss Judy, I would think she's very organized. So I want to say organizada. Again, it's an A because I'm describing Miss Judy. And then la clase yo, this is probably the trickiest part. What you have to do is tell me an activity you do in class and then how often. So for example, maybe I use a calculator every day. So I would say en la clase yo, then I'm going to say uso. Where did I get uso from? Uso comes from the verb usar, to use, and I make an O because it's I, because remember the yo verbs, the yo form is ending in an O. So I chopped off the AR and I add an O. Yo uso una calculadora. I use calculate, and then I have to tell me how often. So remember those expressions of frequency like siempre, mucho, nunca, de vez en cuando, todos los días. So I'm going to say every day. So I use a calculator every day. Todos los días can go at the beginning or at the end of the sentence. I'm going to just put it at the end. So uso una calculadora todos los días. Okay? All right, let's do another class. So let's say my second class starts at 9:15. So I'm going to say a las 9 y, and instead of saying 15, which is 15, I'm going to say quarter after 9. Y cuarto. That means at 9:15. All right, so this class is going to be the class of art. So I'm going to say arte. And the teacher is Miss Caperton, so la señora Caperton. All right, como es la clase? How's the class? I would say it is interesting. So I'm going to say interesante. And Miss Caperton, she's very talented. So, or let's say she's artistic. She's artística. Let's hope she is. I know she is there. And in the clase yo, in the class I. So think about something you do how often you do it, whether it be never, always, every day, sometimes. So in the class, in art class, maybe you paint sometimes. So the word for to paint is pintar. So pintar is to paint. So if I want to make it I paint, chop off the AR of pintar. I'm going back side of this. So pintar. Chop off the AR. And since it's I, yo, remember your yo ending is O. So yo pinto would mean I paint. So in the class, you want to say I paint sometimes. So sometimes I paint or I paint sometimes. So the word for sometimes or once in a while is de vez en cuando. So en la clase yo pinto. Sometimes I paint once in a while. De vez en cuando. And if you remember from those expressions or frequency notes, de vez en cuando can go after your verb. Now, if I were to say I never paint, I would put it there. Yo nunca pinto. Or I always paint. Siempre pinto. Okay? Let's do one more. Let's say my third class starts at 12 o'clock p.m., noon. So instead of, I could say a las 12. Or I can say al mediodía, at noon. Both of those mean at 12 o'clock p.m. All right? So a las 12 or al mediodía. Okay? Again, at 12, at noon. My class is going to be ciencias con el señor Pinkston. The class would be maybe funny, because maybe he's a funny guy and the class is always laughing and just having a good time. But the class is funny doesn't mean Mr. Pinkston is. It just means la clase. Since it's feminine, that's why that ends in an A. Mr. Pinkston, maybe he's serious. So he's going to serio. Okay? And then I'm going to say something that I never do in science. Let's say I never use a calculator. Oh, yeah, you probably use a calculator in science. Paint or draw. I never draw in science. So, en la clase yo, so I'm going to say nunca, I never. The word for draw is dibujar. Chop off the AR. Oops, I forgot to do that. And then I add my O. So nunca dibujo. So again, at 12, science, Mr. Pinkston. The class is funny. Mr. Pinkston is serious. And nunca, en la clase yo nunca dibujo. I never draw. Okay? And then your last class, you'll do the same thing. So again, it can be made up classes. They can be real classes. Let me know if you have any questions. I've suggested that if you want to do a paper version like this, that's totally fine. And you can text it to me and say, hey, Miss Wellborn, look at this. Does this look right? And then I can tell you what to fix, or hey, it looks perfect. And then you can submit that. So anyway, that's it. So I will see you guys later. Adios.